Hey guys, how's it going? I hope that you're having a good weekend. Um, I want to apologize in advance because my dog has been horrible today and will not stop barking. So if she barks, I'm just warning you now. It might happen. So, a couple things before we get started with what we're going to talk about today. One, I'm wondering if you guys if it would be helpful for you guys if you could see the slides I use. So I have slides with my notes on them. So let me know in the comments if it would be helpful to see those slides as I'm going through them, or or I can do both. If it would be helpful for me to send you the slides that I use or notes I use after the lives so that you have something to reference. I usually go back and put a description in the video, but if it would be more helpful to have the actual slides, I can give you those. Also, today we're talking about negative expectations. So if you haven't been around here for a long time or didn't see the video on negative core beliefs, I would recommend going and watching that first. It kind of leads into these negative expectations, so you'll definitely still get something out of this, but it will make more sense if you've seen that video. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. If you haven't seen that, that might be helpful in understanding today's topic. So let's dive in. Like I said, we're talking about negative expectations, or sometimes they're called biased expectations because we have a bias on ourselves, honestly. So what are biased expectations? Biased expectations are negative predictions about what will happen in certain situations. So it could be an exaggeration of what could happen, it could be an underestimation, overestimation, or it could just be like ignoring facts that are involved in the situation, I guess. So it all starts with a situation and then the predictions we have from that situation. This, like I was saying, it stems from the core beliefs. So these beliefs about ourselves and the world, it stems from those beliefs. And it can lead to negative behaviors such as avoiding. So let me kind of explain more about how it works. So essentially, it's a cycle. It starts with the negative core beliefs that we have about ourselves, or usually ourselves, but it could also be about others in the world. This leads to the biased expectations of ourselves or something that will happen. That then leads to unhelpful behaviors and unhelpful emotions. And then our negative core beliefs are then confirmed, and the cycle starts all over. So let me break this down and give you an example so it makes a little more sense. So your core belief could be, I'm not good enough. That would be a core belief about who you are. And that core belief, say that, okay, in this example, you're working for a promotion at your job, but your biased expectation is, I will not get it. So that's the biased expectation. And then the biased expectation leads to a lack of confidence in work, maybe avoiding your boss, some of these unhelpful behaviors that really, are not helping your situation in working for this promotion. And those behaviors then lead to negative emotions like anxiety, shame, just different negative emotions that come from that. And then that leads you back to your negative core belief, which is, I'm not good enough. So this works in a cycle of negative core belief to negative core belief, right? The expectations, the behaviors, and the emotions, they all play a part in confirming that negative core belief and keeping it going and encouraging that thought to continue happening. So, something that you guys actually said that you wanted to work on was self-esteem. And so I want to talk about how this affects self-esteem. This is a perpetuating cycle. So it just continues the negative thoughts and behaviors. So when you continue these negative thoughts and behaviors, you're going to lower your self-esteem. So what happens when you are able to break the cycle, then your self-esteem will go up. When you don't have these thoughts, negative thoughts about yourself, it's a lot easier to fill them with positive thoughts and, think more positively about yourself and have hope for what could happen. So that's the ultimate goal of this training, is that you'll recognize how this cycle is working in your life and be able to break it and create more positivity, positive thoughts, positive behaviors, and positive predictions about your life, like positive expectations for what could happen in your life. When we think something bad will happen, we behave and think in ways that encourage it happening. So when we think something bad is going to happen, we have negative thoughts, we act in ways that encourage that thought and behavior, and therefore encourage it to keep happening. So what if you expected something good to happen? That's my encouragement to you guys, is the negative thoughts are not going to stop right away. Honestly, unfortunately, that's just not how it works. But if we can add some positive thoughts in there, eventually the negative ones will diminish a little bit. So I guess I want to give you guys clear guidance that, this stuff takes time, and it won't happen overnight, but that's why we have to keep working on it and keep pushing towards those positive thoughts and expectations for ourselves. So what exactly can change your expectations? Like I said, creating the positive thoughts will change the expectations, but how do you get to those positive thoughts? First of all, you have to be mindful of your thoughts, just like becoming mindful of what you're thinking, and consciously, when you have these negative thoughts and expectations, throwing and being intentional about thinking positive things too. So essentially changing the narrative. Create positive thoughts. You may not realize how many negative thoughts you have until you are more conscious of it. So, start to recognize when you're having these thoughts and expectations of yourself, and try to change the narrative. I know I've said this before, but ultimately you have the power to decide what you believe and say to yourself. So you have the power to change these expectations of yourself and to create more positivity in your life. I know that you guys have so much potential, and if you just expect that of yourself, you will go so far. So I hope this was helpful. I know that it can be kind of confusing at first, and there's a lot of information I just threw at you. So I'm gonna put a link in the description, or not a link, a description of what I kind of just went through. But if you are struggling to either understand this or implement this, reach out. I'm always here for you guys. Message me. We can set up a time to chat and kind of work through this together, because I want you guys to create this positivity in your life. And I know that increasing self-esteem can be a huge challenge, and it's hard work. So let me know how I can support you, and let's work together. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.